Stephanie Milky here, aka KetoMOM, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMOM podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the KetoMOM Secrets podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to KetoMOM. Welcome to KetoMOM Secrets. My name is Stephanie, and I'm so excited to talk to you and help you on your journey every single day with a different thought or something to help you, I would just say, go further faster. We like to say, when you can learn from other people, when you have books and podcasts and people in front of you that have already gone before you, you want to know what it helps you with? It helps you go further faster, but because you're not having to sift and sort and try to figure it out on your own, you're learning from other people who have already done it. So that is why I really truly express the power of books and podcasts, because you're learning from people that have already done it. So today I'm going to talk about a book that we've already talked about many times. It is a book that I think is super powerful. And if everybody, I mean everybody, high schoolers to college graduates to adults, I mean, if you could understand the concept of this book, we've gone through it, and yet isn't it interesting how many times we need a reminder and we need to hear it over and over again before we finally go, all right, I get what you're saying. So I was thinking this morning as I was walking through, like, what should I talk about? I was like, all right, I am going to talk about something that most people send me messages about. And if you didn't hear me talk about this, a couple days ago or even yesterday, depending on the lives that you listen to, or we've got, podcasts and different things, depending on where you're listening to me. I'm shaking up my ketones right now. I talked about what this KetoMOM Secrets is going to be all about. Most people come and they're like, listen, tell me how to eat and what to do. And I'm like, awesome. I need my mom fuel this morning. And I say, okay, listen, I will tell you how to eat, but there's some things also I want you to focus on. So I talked about, listen, I'm going to follow I was like, should I call it the F words? I've got a lot of F words I want to talk about. Faith and family and friends and fitness and fun and finances. I tricked you. But for real, there are things that people need to understand, people need to have an awareness of, and knowing that you don't have to fall trap to your past and you can change. Isn't that interesting? And yet you're like, that takes work. If you want something different, you've got to do something different, right? Do you agree? So the book that I'm going to talk about this morning that I think is either a good review for you, or maybe you're hearing it for the first time. I want you just to listen and see where it falls in line with your life. I would love for you to press the share button. Sharing is caring. You can comment always in the comments, whether you have questions or if there's something that has helped you along this way that you want to share with other people. So the book that I think is, first of all, an easy read, and second of all, I used to use the excuse, and I tell people they can't use this anymore. I think it's a lie. It's called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And you might be like, Stephanie, you've talked about this. Yes, I have. So the question is, if you heard me talk about this Miracle Morning book before, I want to know if you've implemented it. Who has implemented the Miracle Morning? You need to comment if you have. What does that mean? The Miracle Morning means you get up in the morning and you get all of the things done that are going to improve your mindset and things that you want to do to improve your life before 8 o'clock in the morning or before whatever your time frame is. It's owning your morning and owning your life. And so what that means is you get up with an excitement. You get up with like, all right, like I am blessed with another day. What am I going to do with it? And so, yeah, the miracle morning. All right. So I want you to have this. First of all, you might either share in the comments or you can just say it to yourself. Do you believe that you're a morning person or a night owl? You can comment below. That would be awesome. Do you believe that you're a morning person or a night owl? I used to say that I was a night owl. I would stay up so late because in my head I was like, listen, I'm getting all of these things done. And yet the morning would roll around and I would be non-functional. And because I didn't have a focus to get up. I didn't understand the power of reading and journaling and just sitting. I didn't understand the miracle morning. I love it. I see people saying they're morning people. That's good. Because oftentimes people go, I can never do that. I'm a night owl. And I'm like, oh, yes, you can. It's just a matter of changing time frames. All right. So there's a couple things I want to read to you. I believe it is so. Hal Elrod is the author, and I'm not going to read you the entire book, but I want to give you an understanding of why it is so important. If you have goals, specifically health and fitness goals, to be stronger or leaner or thinner or healthier, why it's so important to work on your morning, to own your morning. I truly believe it is one of the most valuable, if you want to say secrets, of helping somebody on their health journey is owning your morning. Because when you own your morning, you get up differently than if you stayed up late last night and you roll out of bed. If you get up with intentional action and excitement and gratitude, if you get up with like, I'm blessed with another day. I'm so excited to do these things. I get to go to work. I get to be with my spouse. I get to hang around my kids. I get to go be a teacher. I get to go be a waitress. I get to go help people with their finance. Whatever it is that you are blessed to do, you might not love where you're at today, but your attitude will shift yourself and your environment 100%. So when you get up with an attitude of gratitude, when you get up in the morning and you're like, I get to, it's one word. If you can change one word instead of going, I have to, that already sounds like I have to. I have to go to work. I have to go to the gym, right? That already gives you this like, But if you switch the I have to get, I get to, that is going to empower you for your day. So just think about this. If you get up and you get to own your morning, you get to do things like read and journal and sit in quiet or silence for like 5 minutes to let your brain like gather itself. If you get to go to the gym and you get to move your body and you get to, and as you go throughout your day, when you feel empowered and when you feel like you've owned your morning and when you didn't just roll out of bed after hitting snooze 3 times and then you're running late and then you didn't eat breakfast and then you're hungry and then your kids are yelling at you and you forgot their school bag, like all of the things. There is a huge difference between a peaceful owning your morning or a behind I hit the snooze button morning, because both of those mornings are going to ultimately have, it's going to ultimately, what am I looking for? It is going to depict your day on the choices that you make. If you are running late and you are already crabby and you're in a I have to mode, you probably will grab the donut. You probably will skip the workout. You might yell at your employee, or you might skip something that's super important to you. But when you get up with intentionality and focus and an attitude of gratitude, and you really truly follow something called the miracle morning, you wake up with a I get to, not I have to. You wake up with a focus that you might go, oh my goodness, I've had a great morning and I've got goals, because you're not on a hurry. So you go, actually don't need the donut. No, I'm not going to skip my workout. Somebody says, hey, do you want to go to the movies? And you didn't get your gym in. Nope, actually, I've got goals. I'm going to skip today. Thanks for asking. I've had a great day and I'm going to go hit the gym. Does that make sense? the difference between I get to and I have to, owning your morning, or like letting your morning run you. So listen to this. The author says, I believe it is crucial for us to embrace the perspective that anything another person has overcome or accomplished is simply evidence that anything, and I mean anything we need to overcome or want to accomplish, is possible for us. No matter what our past or our current circumstance, it begins with accepting total responsibility for every aspect of our life and refusing to blame anyone else. The degree to which you accept responsibility for anything in your life is precisely the degree of personal power that you have to change and create anything in your life. That is super powerful. Did you catch that? The degree to which you accept responsibility for everything in your life is precisely the degree of personal power you have to change and create everything in your life. And you might go, yeah, but you don't know my past. You don't know what happened to me. You don't know the things I've gone through. And he talks about that in his book. He's like, I understand. He had some incredibly terrible circumstances that he had to work through. And it wasn't just one. It was like years of craziness that he had to overcome. Whether it was health and then also in finances, whether he battled for his life or he was going bankrupt, and everything in between, right? Like there are things that you really, truly probably need to seek counsel for. And yet, I love what he says. He says, it's important to understand that responsibility is not the same as blame. While blame determines who was at fault for something, responsibility determines who is committed to improving things. Oftentimes people will say, well, my parents didn't teach me how to eat healthy, or I was told I was always be this way, or I don't have people around me to encourage me, or you don't know my life. You don't know where I live. You don't know the places I work. And yet you 100% have control over your mindset, and finding online mentors and reading a book and getting up and owning your morning. Nobody can do that for you. You have to do it. When you accept responsibility to go, all right, I might not love where I'm at today. And the first thing I can totally change is my attitude. I can change if I get up in the morning with a positive attitude or a negative attitude. I am 100% responsible for the food. Let's just talk about food. For the food that I put in my mouth. I'm guessing nobody feeds you. Like nobody puts a spoon to your mouth and says, why don't you eat the spoonful of ice cream, right? Why don't you drink this sugary filled drink, right? You have total control over your choices and your attitude every day, regardless of how you were raised. And I understand there are major things that have happened to people. There is a, you take responsibility as an adult. There's an awareness of walking through forgiveness and not being bitter about life, right? You might not forget the things that have happened, but there is a freeing of forgiving and going, I'm deciding to draw a line in the sand, and I'm going to start owning my morning and my day and my choices, and I'm going to be responsible here on out for what I'm going to do. You can either have an attitude of like, I'm moving forward and nothing is going to stop me with my goals, or you can have a victim mentality. A lot of people have a victim mentality. You can hear it in their language. You can see it in the way they do life, because they blame, shame, and justify what has happened. Clearly, I'm sitting next to a bathroom. If you heard that, my daughter is in there. Sometimes I'm like, people are listening, obviously. If you heard the toilet flush, there you go. I've got 4 daughters. 4 daughters and 4 dogs. There's usually background noise, and I love it. Good morning. All right, a couple more things. Know that wherever you are in life right now is both temporary and exactly where you are supposed to be. You have arrived at this moment to learn what you must learn so that you can become the person that you need to become, to create the life that you truly want, even when life is difficult or challenging. Especially when life is difficult and challenging, the present is always an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, and to become better than you've ever been before. You have to decide, are you going to take the responsibility to own your morning or not? Listen, There are things that I will teach you all day, all the time. And I don't say teach you as in like I am the expert. I say teach you as in I read all the time. I am constantly learning. Like I was laughing at myself last night because we climb into bed and my husband, we had a fun, unexpected visitor that came over, one of our very good friends from growing up, you know, in high school and when we were young adults. And it was unexpected. We had great conversations for hours, right? And something that's just in our verbiage is we climbed into bed last night and I said, all right, babe, what was your biggest takeaway? What did you learn from that conversation? How is it going to help you grow? Is there anything in those conversations with our friend Brandon that you can take away and become better? That is just in our verbiage every day. It's something that we ask our kids. Whatever we're experiencing throughout the day, or anytime something maybe exciting or not so exciting happened, something that we ask ourselves and our kids is, all right, what was your takeaway? What did you learn from that? What did you learn and can either implement or learn to remember not to do? Did you learn anything? You should write that down. Or you should even just ask yourself that, like after something happens or a conversation or a meeting or something, or just your day, what did I learn today? Did I meet my outcomes? Like, did I have something that like, oh my goodness, that was monumental. I need to write that down. Which that brings me to something also that I want to tell you. I have been slacking a little bit, but in general, I have a big white piece of paper and I like to write things on that piece of paper throughout the year that we are blessed with, that we are thankful for, things that I don't want to forget. You want to know what's so interesting is how often are we so excited one day because we did so great and we did all of the things and we owned our morning and we had a great attitude and we journaled and we just like, do you ever have those days where you're like, if every day could be this day, right? What did you do that day? So I like to tell people, get yourself a remember wall, like we had it on our wall for a while, or a remember journal or some place to write things down throughout your year. And yes, I say a year, so you can go back and look. So start right now. Get out a piece of paper, a journal, something, keep it on your counter. And every single day or throughout each month, when you are thankful for something or you reached a goal or you were blessed with something or just something in your life, you're like, that is really cool. Like that, wow, that was, I'll tell you a really fun story. So if you follow our story on social media and you watch our where we live, we bought a lake home that's on an old rock quarry. It was filled in, it's a 40-acre, we say a lake, but it's an old rock quarry filled in with water. It didn't have a lot of land. And so my husband built relationships with people all over our town that dig basements and that have dirt, and we're adding land to our property so that we can have grass. There was no grass when we bought it. And so anyways, here's 2 stories. My husband, so we've got people dumping stuff on our land all the time, dirt and rocks and things that they don't want to go dump in the next town. Helps them and helps us, right? And so one day my husband was building a retaining wall and he was like, man, I really could use some little pebbles, some little, like, I don't know what he called it. I don't know the correct term for these little rocks. He just simply said, I really could use some of these rocks. I am not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Within less than an hour, a truck had pulled up to where they dump all of our dirt and dumped an entire truckload of the little pebble rocks that my husband was like, I really could use some of those. That's something to remember. And no joke, and then something happened to where he was picking up some of the rocks with his tractor and it got mixed in some of the dirt. And so he was like, man, I really need a little bit more of that rock. So he was going to go buy some. And I'm not kidding. A truck dumped more rock. That same rock. And that's the only time that's happened. A couple weeks ago, somebody dumped a whole bunch of dirt at our house. And in the dirt, if you sifted and sorted through the dirt, there are these really cool circle pebble, like, you know how you can step on stepping stones? And my husband put a sauna outside our house. And so my husband's like, oh my goodness, there's a couple pebbles in the dirt or like pebbles, like these circle stones. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like walking stones. And so he went over and they dug these stones out, and they had like, I don't even know, not the perfect amount, but he had some stones to get from our driveway to his sauna. He was so excited. It looked so nice. And you guys, you can't make this stuff up. I'll tell you why I'm telling you this in a second. So he laid the stones down, and a couple of days later, my husband was like, hey, you know what's so cool? We should go check out at that landscaping business. I really could use one more stone. I think it would make it like less of a jump. Pavers, yes. They're circle pavers. Thank you. I think it would make it less of I want one more of those circle pavers to make it so it's a simpler walkway to the sauna. Guess what happened? Can you guess? I'm not lying. A truck came that day with a load of dirt. You guys, listen to this. With one circle paver that matched all of the other pavers. I like to say blessed and highly favored, but I want you to hear something. You have days and you have moments in your life where things happen and you go, I love this, or I'm so thankful. Little moments. And if you write those little moments down, like the blessings and the things you're thankful for, and you write down the things that God has blessed you with, other people have blessed you with. There are things in your life, I promise you, that if you just take a second and you acknowledge the small moments in your life, and if you write them down, then guess what? On the days that aren't so glamorous, on the days that you accidentally hit snooze, on the day that you had to skip the gym because you had an important meeting, on the day that you were a little emotional and you didn't make the best choice, you can go back to the remember wall or the remember journal or wherever you're writing those things down to remind you that you are blessed and highly favored. You are, like, you can go back to the things you're thankful for and go, oh, not every day is like this, right? You can go back and go, I'm acknowledging today's one of those days. It's not my best days, but I'm so thankful for all the things in my past that have happened, and I'm going to keep moving forward. It builds your belief in people and you and your life and God, and understanding that, like, you don't have to live this life of like chasing. You don't have to live this life of chasing or being behind or being frustrated or looking at life going, oh, woe is me. Like, don't be an Eeyore, right? But I want you to do that. Like, remembering where you came from and the things that have happened are so important to propel you forward. Because then it gives you like this, oh yes, do you remember? Do you remember all of these great things? And it doesn't have to be a crazy paver showing up. It's the little things like, man, we had a really great day with our kids today. I had a really great day with my teenager. Or I'm so thankful for that date where I got to connect with my spouse. Or that was a really great meeting at my job. Or, man, I walked one more mile than I've ever done before. Because we oftentimes look at success and compare ourselves to either people on social media or people that we don't see the 8-year story of their overnight success, right? So when we're trying to measure success in any area of our life, it's usually compared to somebody who's already been working on it for 8 years. When you should measure success by your own self of like, can I walk further? And I'm making better choices. Like in simple health and fitness, success is not depicted by your scale. It is the habits and the systems you're creating over time that should tell you, are you being successful or not? You can look at your habits and your systems and decide and know where you're going to be in the next year. It's either going to be moving forward or going backwards by just your day. If somebody followed you for your entire day and they watched your habits of did you get up or did you not? Did you journal and did you take some time to be mindful or did you not? Were you listening to garbage and watching garbage on the TV, or did you listen to somebody who's going to lift you up and teach you something, or did you not? Did you drive through the drive-thru or eat the bag lunch in your seat that you're already packed? Did you decide to go to the gym or make an excuse? Did you decide to yell at your kids or like learn what EQ is and learn to handle your emotions and learn just to be a better parent? Did you decide to do this or that? Because somebody could follow you throughout your day. And I'm not saying like, let's just say like an average day, and they could go, well, here's where you're going to end up next year. You're going to be further or you're not. You're going to accomplish goals or you're not. And all you have to do is watch people's actions, watch their habits, look at their systems, and honestly listen to their words. And if you truly pay attention to the things that people are watching, you're going to go, they're going to be successful. They're not going to be successful. That might feel mean, and it's the truth. So what I love about this book is he gives you an acronym called SAVERS, SAVERS. He says if you can get up in the morning and you can sit in silence for 5 minutes, do some affirmations, like visualization of where you want to go, exercise, read, and journal. And you can do that, whether it's 6 minutes of your day. He's like, some people don't want to give their morning an hour to do things to make them be better. He's like, that's fine. Give yourself a minute in each area just to acknowledge, like, 1 minute of silence. Can you sit in 1 minute of silence? It's actually quite refreshing. 1 minute of affirmations. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and go, I am strong. I am incredible. I am a leader. I'm going to, like, say the things that you want. It might sound weird, and yet your words have power. I have stuff written all on my mirror of the goals and the things I want to accomplish and that we're believing for. Visualization. Sit for 1 minute today and just think of where you want to be at the end of this year. Let's not even talk about next year or in 5 years. Like, you've got a good amount of time from now until the end of the year to go, I can make some changes. I can create different habits. I can implement some better routines. I can get up in the morning and give myself some time and not let my morning own me. 1 minute of exercise. Do some squats and push-ups. 1 minute of reading. Read 1 page. And then 1 minute of journaling, of writing down some things you're thankful for. If you just did that, how much more would that change your outlook on life throughout your day? This book is crazy. I was going to say incredible and amazing at the same time. Crazy. This book is amazing, and I don't even know. It's great. So I'm going to continue to pick little pieces of this to share with you. The Miracle Morning, there's lots of different ones. So people have messaged me and they're like, do I get the Miracle Morning for entrepreneurs or the Miracle Morning for, I don't even know. There's so many. I just have this first Miracle Morning book. Own your morning, own your day. I think it's super powerful. Watch your words. Take responsibility. I'm always here to help. So you can send me a message. You can comment in the comments. You can go to KetoMomSecrets.com. All one word. KetoMomSecrets.com. You can head over there and you can look for recipes. You can click on book club and look at the books that we've gone through. You can figure out how to get started on your health journey. You can send me a message and I would love to help. You can learn about ketones. I drink every single day. Talk about my mom fuel. It's incredible. And so I'm here to help. I truly appreciate you. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Reach out to me. I hope you have a great day, although I already said that. And your presence matters. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.